Hello, everybody. Welcome to Purple Coin Entertainment. This is the Purple Podcast.
Yeah, Purple Podcast. Welcome back to another Purple Podcast, where we do podcast stuff. Today, we have a guest from Golden Sky Esports.
The Golden Sky Esports, man.
How's it going?
Introduce yourself.
I'm Jack Forte. I go by UnitofPasta, and I'm one of the founders of Golden Sky Esports. We are a Western Kentucky. Basically, we're a band of goons. That's what we call ourselves. We're the Goonies.
The Goonies.
And we're a band of gamers that host tournaments, and we're also variety streams. All of us kind of have our own little
niches.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. You see, it's funny because I can't ever remember how that word is pronounced. Is it niche or is it niche? Because I've heard people try to tell me both.
Yeah, I've heard both. Dude, I had a professor in college that she would say the word niche because in evolution and stuff we were talking about like how animals would find their niche or whatever. This one kid, every single time she said niche, he would under his breath go niche. And like one time she caught him saying that, and she was like, "Excuse me?"
Oh my God.
He's like, "I'm sorry, it just drives me nuts how you pronounce the word niche. It's niche." And she's like, "Until you get a degree of my level, you can tell me how to pronounce it."
Let's go.
And that moment lives rent free in my head. But I've always said niche myself.
Yeah.
And like I said, this professor of zoology pronounced it niche, so I'm gonna take her word for it.
Yeah, it's actually funny. Another fun fact about me being here is we actually went to the same college.
That's right. I kind of forgot about that.
We went to Kentucky Wesleyan together.
At what point?
I mean, you and me went to the same college.
That's also true. That's also true. I went to two colleges.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I met him at Western Kentucky, and then I met you at. Well, did we meet at KWC or did we know each other already? Because where did we meet?
That's a good question.
That's how did we end up at this?
Probably Big Bang, right?
In this moment.
Yeah, I want to say it was Big Bang.
Was it really?
Because I think it was probably.
It probably was. Okay,
Smash.
I think you're right. I mean, we probably did meet at the Smash.
Because I didn't start making appearances at Big Bang until I started running the Smash tournaments.
Right. Yeah, and so you host weekly Smash tournaments at Big Bang Games and Comics. You should shop there if you're in the area. It's a really cool place.
Yeah.
He is an employee there. So make sure you say hi and you recognize him from the podcast. But
yeah, follow Big Bang on TikTok too, because I make all the store TikToks.
Yeah, they're pretty good. But yeah, I do actually. So I do remember meeting you in the band room at Wesleyan and being like, hey,
that's right.
You're wearing a cool shirt. And I was like,
right.
You're wearing Panda Global. You're wearing a Panda Global shirt.
Yeah,
and I was like,
okay.
I recognize that. I remember seeing you. So we must have met at Big Bang. It's so weird that just like. I don't know, that all of that led to here, led to this moment.
Coincidences.
Yeah. It's funny that your mind goes in that direction. My mind is like, what was the professor's name?
Oh. I'm not going to give that out, I think. Honestly.
Yeah, no.
There's a very little chance she actually keeps up with this.
Redacted.
Yeah. There's very little chance she actually listens to it. Honestly, there's probably no chance. I don't let anybody I went to college with know
the professor's name that I had for evolution was...
Exactly.
Right. But what we really wanted you on today for was to actually talk about, so obviously we ended up on Purple Coin. It used to, I don't know if you know the whole story. We actually have a podcast already where we explained everything. If you want to go listen to that, it's available on Spotify.
There you go.
And YouTube already in our Purple Podcast playlist.
Words are hard.
Purple Podcast, that's a lot of P's.
Purple Podcast playlist.
Yeah, and there's like
say that 5 times fast.
No, I don't want to. The origins of the Zelda Pros. We used to be called the Zelda Pros when it was me, Timothy, and my little brother.
I'd say Tristan. They know Tristan.
Yeah, you know Tristan. I don't know. He's my generic trash now.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody recognizes. Anyway.
I mean, what? Would they recognize Mad Rabbi?
Mad Rabbi. I
don't think
my little brother. Because he's related to me, so he's my brother.
I guess.
Whatever. But anyway, that's how it was. We ended up as Purple Coin. And like I said, there's a whole story there, and I can tell you some of it. But I really want to know how you ended up like in esports. How you ended up with the name Golden Sky. We just have a lot of questions that we've never asked you, and I've never thought about it. So we're gonna get our minds learned, and you guys get to hear this with us.
Yeah. Basically, The situation kind of originated in college. I should say, like, just the opportunity.
No, we're all good ideas
start.
We're all good ideas start. Where I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
What a terrible decision.
Yeah.
My poor wallet.
Yeah, it really is just a string of terrible decisions, one after the other. When you look at it objectively.
Yeah, I made the decision to stay and graduate. So.
Yeah.
What's that degree doing for you?
It's hanging on my wall.
Yep. I got a fine piece of paper with a border around it that has my name on it in fancy lettering. Hanging up on my wall.
Right.
And I went from making music for other people for free and performing for free to making professional music for free and performing for free.
Oh. Yeah.
It's just a meme. I always like to say that, but basically, we were like a few of my friends were thinking about putting together an esports team for the college, Kentucky Wesleyan Esports.
I remember seeing signs for that.
And so it was one of those I really wanted to rally the troops moments, and I basically just hit the ground running for a very short amount of time.
So did that ever get off the ground for the college?
Briefly,
okay.
Yeah, and it was ultimately not supported.
What'd you guys try to run?
Or no, I shouldn't say not supported, because they did support us. They did supply us with PC equipment, and they also got us a reservation for a room dedicated to setting up those computers and practicing together. It just didn't gain as much traction as we would have hoped, it's totally fine. Like, generally the small college struggle is you try to get any kind of club or organization started.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a lot of traffic for the first, couple meetings or so. And then after that, everybody starts to wane off as they realize, oh, wow, I don't have as much time for this as I thought. Or, hey, this just isn't really, it's not really my thing. Yeah. It could be a plethora of reasons. But, we hosted a couple tournaments. We had an Overwatch team for a very short amount of time.
I do remember that much. Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty cool.
Were you trying to be a part of that Overwatch team?
I never had an interest in playing Overwatch. I just remember being like, oh, there's an esports team. I wonder what they play. And I was like, Overwatch, League of Legends, World of Warcraft, or something. It was one of those two.
Yeah,
I was like, nah. And I saw Smash Bros on the listing, and I was like, hey, I'm interested in that. Yeah. Was Ultimate out at the time?
Yes.
Was it out already?
Ultimate's been out for...
I know. So I got him
5 years.
Yeah, I saw a message a tweet.
No, actually 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This year
because it was at the very
something
end of 2018.
like that. But I do know that I saw a tweet yesterday that was like Byleth was announced 3 years ago today, and I was like, no.
I was already see the wrinkles developing on your face.
I moved out of my parents. I had at least moved out of my parents' house already. I remember waking up in a bed in my apartment at the time, I woke up just early enough to watch that trailer on my phone, and I just had that moment ingrained in my mind because I remember you texted me immediately after it and went, another swordsman from Fire Emblem. Or no, I think it was actually Timothy.
I was about to say, I would have
No, I think it was actually Timothy. But he was like, yeah, that's right. We were in the group chat, but he was like, gosh.
Yeah, Timothy would have said that. I think I was like...
I do remember that you did wake up, though. You woke up for it. And,
it was the final Smash character, or so we thought.
Yeah, right.
Before DLC passed 2.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy.
But yeah,
3 years ago, I can't imagine that. It's so hard to think that it's been that long. And probably, it's been almost a year since I've actually played the game. We were just talking a minute ago that we played Ultimate a little on the channel on Purple Coin Plus recently. Not for very long.
No.
We played it for just long enough to make that video, and then we moved on with our lives.
Hey, content is content.
Content is
content.
Yeah,
content is content.
Catch us uploading those Call of Duty videos.
So you started out at Westland.
Yeah.
Didn't really go too well. Did you already have Golden Sky as the...
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, I just... that was actually a book title that I was writing some kind of... it was a... My ADHD made it my hyperfixation at the time, and I had, I had a string of plot ideas that never really came to fruition, but, it started out as a book title, and I had this gigantic intro to the story written out. It was fictional, and it had all these characters. It had all these plot devices and everything. And then my laptop bit the dust after I spilled coffee on it by accident. So it's still it's still in its memory.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just too lazy to go get the hard drive extracted.
Same.
But yeah, it started out as
Same
that.
thing happened to my laptop. Because, instead of coffee, it was a cat and a wire.
Yeah.
So.
It's like the same thing.
Man. It's like the same thing.
It might as well be. But we eventually, as an endeavor to try and get a little bit more traffic for the Kentucky Wesleyan esports team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know, I can't take a whole lot of credit because eventually I became president of the club, but I was reaching burnout phase very quickly, and I did not get a lot accomplished. So I will just put that disclaimer out there now. Is I'm aware that there were quite a few holes that I left behind.
Yeah.
But
I mean, hey, starting anything new like that, it's so much work.
Yeah.
And like you said, burnout.
I don't know how we
so
were
hard.
In a Smash Bros. Ultimate club at Kentucky, or not Ultimate, it was Smash 4 at the time.
Yeah.
At Kentucky, at Western Kentucky. And I gotta say, so this is just kind of a small flex, but the guy that ran it, the president of that one, was Thaddeus Cruz. If you're familiar, Repeteo. And, he's working on the Nickelodeon All-Stars. He's the one that developed Nickelodeon All-Stars.
That is so cool.
And he was he was the leader of the Smash Club at Western. So, seeing his name on that when I realized, I was like, why does that name sound so familiar? I realized I went to college with the guy. I'm still friends with him on Facebook.
That is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And we didn't get a free copy.
Yeah.
Man.
Content.
Content.
We have the game now.
If you're out there and you're listening, come on, help some brothers out.
Yeah.
Come on. even though
it's been a minute since it's been out.
It has definitely been a minute.
Can't say it's doing too hot, unfortunately.
Yeah, I did buy the game to support him, and also just to try it out. I love Smash Brothers, and so the Smash clones they call them or whatever, platform fighters. I like trying them out. I've tried Legends of Arcane. No, what's the one that Dan Fornes made?
Rivals of Aether.
Okay, yeah, I tried that one. We did play Brawlhalla for a while. No, what was the other one with the frog? Was that Brawlhalla? Brawlout. That was
Brawlout. That's right. Yeah.
That game was okay. Yeah, I never played Slap City. I kind of want to play Slap City.
Slap City was so funny.
Yeah, I remember seeing clips of it, and I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, I don't want to.
No.
Yeah, that's a game that I really tried to play with my roommates more often, but they were just not into it.
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
Like the whole reason why I thought it was one of the funniest games I'd ever played is because I originally watched 2 uploads, one from Dunkey, the other from AlphaRad.
AlphaRad.
And the part in the middle where Fish Bungeon 3000, like Maloney, was like dunking Job or
Joan?
Joan. That's right.
Joan,
not Job. Okay.
Joan.
So he dunked him, and then he brought him back up.
Yeah.
And then he dunked him and brought him back up again.
That one.
Then both of them died, and then everybody died. Like AlphaRad, I swear he had like tears in his eyes while he was recording it. But
look, you can get some pretty good moments in any Smash game.
That was one of the funniest games I had played, and I would still absolutely play it if I had people to play it with, and if it was more accessible.
Right. Yeah. I'm sorry to keep putting us off
It's
topic.
okay.
I was
It's
just
it's fine.
I was like, oh yeah, the president of the Smash Club I went to. But yeah, so you were the president. You said you left.
Got burnout, which happens.
My last project, which paid in dividends, as it turns out, was starting a Smash event at a different venue and then keeping that going. And that was where Big Bang started.
Mm-hmm.
And there was I was still in college. I didn't have no PC equipment. I just had my Switch and the 2 TVs that were graciously supplied by the store owner. And we used those. Everybody brought in setups. It was really popular for a while, and it stayed popular. It stayed pretty consistently popular. People wanted to come back, and people wanted to keep playing. There were a lot of players there that I remember just upgrading like crazy because we had appearances. We had consistent appearances from Kentucky's top 2 players at that time.
Yeah.
Jen and Roger, who at the time went by, well, actually, Jen was still Jen.
Yeah.
And then Roger was Darkholm at the time.
Yeah.
And that was Darkholm made, or Roger made a lot more appearances consistently.
Yeah, I remember playing against him a lot.
Yeah. And
not making it out of pools in round 1.
Playing against him.
Yeah, well,
you watch a cutscene.
I did.
Yeah, he just
he made me decide that Falco was not for me. Mainly because he mirrored my Falco, and he made me feel very bad about myself.
He said, no, this is how it's done.
That's the way it be sometimes. He beat me with Ken while I was Ryu, and like, I mean...
They're like the same character.
Yeah, I mean, I understood the flex, and I gotta give him credit for that, but at the same time, that was a blow to my ego.
Yeah,
for sure. Ooh. For sure.
This man really out-showdoed my Shodo. But, basically, like, I mean, he was one of the reasons why we kept going for so long, is because people wanted to win against him.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And then, all of a sudden, fast forward a little bit more to beginning of 2020.
Yeah. I think we all know where that one's going.
Big Bang had to put all of their events...
At this point, you had the Twitch channel, right?
Yeah, we had... I don't think... No, it was not yet.
No, really?
Yeah, because it was towards the end of January.
Wow.
It was towards the end of January, beginning of February, that quarantine was, just starting to, basically total takeover of everything. And
let's see, so I graduated in 2020. When did we start? We used to stream a handful of the Smash events.
That's right. We were streaming the Smash tournaments. Wow.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, Purple Core did a couple of Smash tournaments.
Yeah, we did.
I remember that.
We commentated over, we played in a few of them,
and
then switched out commentators, and then eventually I know that you took over, so I'm trying to figure out what the timeline was.
That's right. That's why, because I remembered that it was being streamed, but it wasn't by Golden Sky.
Right,
it was by us.
Yeah, we were getting
That's
there
right.
early, setting everything up.
Yeah, you had the laptop there, and you had the capture card and everything.
Yeah, and the splitter and all that kind of stuff. And we had to bring in extra TV because of the way the splitter worked. So we weren't sitting right next to the players and be like, and this guy makes a kick for it.
We were still like right there.
Yeah,
we were whispering
I want to say that there was also a cardboard panel that you
there
brought
was.
with you in order to...
I think that was at Big Bang.
It was, but that was after the first time we streamed, because we realized that we were like right there looking at the players playing. They were looking at the TV, but we were just on the other side of the TV going, wow, look at that.
Wow, this link really sucks. And they turn around and they're like, right? And we're just like...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's completely understandable. Like, that sort of awkward.
I'm gonna get rid of that. That the whole time.
That sort of awkward exchange between player and commentator in that tight.
Yeah, so we did end up setting up cardboard pieces, like a panel, so we at least didn't echo out so bad.
We at least didn't have to see.
Oh, and we turned ourselves around too. We put cardboard against them to block out, and then we turned around. That's right. So we weren't, and then brought that extra TV around so we would say in real time, because the laptop was a couple seconds behind. So if we narrated over what was happening on the screen recording, it was wrong. They were already doing something else.
Oh, he's got the edge guard. Oh, what's going to happen? He grabs a... No, he's spot! And it was like 30 seconds after the blast zone animation.
I'm pretty sure something like that actually happened during the first recording.
Yeah.
Game! Yeah.
What? Yeah, we hear...
Oh my god, that was sick!
We hear him behind us, and then he spikes a guy in front of us 3 seconds later. We're like, oh! And they're already getting up, controllers being wrapped up, shaking hands. Yeah. And then we're popping off, and they're just like, what is going on?
What is going on back there?
We're having a moment. Just let us have our moment.
We're like, hey, you did... And he's already gone.
What's the timeline for that? So, it's 2023 as of recording this. It was not 2022, because that's the year we for sure took off. It definitely also wasn't 2021, but it also wasn't 2020, was it? That we were streaming. It was 2019.
Probably 2019.
So 2019 we were streaming these. Gosh, that was 4 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit.
Yep.
And then
COVID hit.
You guys got locked up in your houses, like everyone did.
Yeah. And I had at that time gotten a hold of a small USB microphone and a webcam.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I had also placed the order for the capture card, and it came in at the same time. And I just I got together with him. I was like, hey, do you guys want to, like, it's a quarantine project. I just kind of want to see what happens.
Yeah.
Do you just want to get together and maybe stream some Smash Bros. Or other games? We could take turns. We could kind of play our own games. And they were like, yeah, okay, we'll give it a chance. And I can't remember the start date. I'll have to look on Twitch because I always forget it.
Yeah.
But it was February of 2020.
Dude, it would be crazy if it's really close to Purple Coin Plus. We launched Purple Coin Plus on February 17th.
Yeah, it would be. It would be crazy.
Yeah,
that would be funny.
If it was, but that was of 2021.
Yeah,
22. It was 22.
22.
It was just 22.
Yeah, it was last year.
Yeah, because we're not a year old yet.
We're getting to.
We're getting very close to being a year, but.
So what made you decide to do that? Were you like, I'm bored?
Yeah, a lot of it was bored. The other part of it was, my new roommate Jordan has his PC set up in here.
Okay.
Now. And he said like we could, he was pretty lenient at the time, which I gotta give shout outs to Hannibal because he was pretty lenient with his PC usage at the time. And I was always nervous to do it.
Yeah.
I was like really, really nervous because
you don't want to mess anything up. You're use somebody else's. PC.
So I basically it was only OBS. Well, at the time, Streamlabs OBS.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was only OBS, and just that was pretty much the only thing that I touched. I didn't do anything else, and we all got together. It was me, Tristan, and Jordan to start out with, and then Sean joined us. It was
okay.
He went by. At the time, he went by J Bubba Boy. I want to think.
I think so. I think I remember all the way back to that. Like something. I remember a name like that at one point.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was Pasta, Genie, or was it?
It wouldn't have been Genie, right? Because if that Genie is, or there's two
Yeah.
Seans, aren't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
No.
It's just Sean and Tristan.
Sean.
It's kind
okay.
of confusing because Tristan's original tag, he goes by Sean the Don now.
Yeah,
but,
that's what that. Yeah.
But it used to be Sean Tron.
I remember. Okay.
Yeah, so it was. I want. That's the thing, though. It wasn't J Bubba Boy. It was something different, and I can't remember. I'm literally about to look on my Twitch right now because it's all the way from the start in our highlights. Like we had a video of, maybe I took that out. Oh God.
Oh no. But yeah, so I totally didn't realize that this was a quarantine project.
Yeah.
So,
No.
I mean that makks sense. That a lot of people picked up a lot of hobbies around that time. Yeah. The kind of content we were making was just. In 2020, at the beginning, we made Animal Crossing. I made an Animal Crossing like awesome NES style video like I used to. But then we played Crunker.
That game was fun.
We played
Draws.
We were trying to find games that we could do, long distance. Play together online and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I didn't have Wi-Fi, and I was making it work. Although no wait, I played Crunker. I went to my parents' house so I could use their Wi-Fi and record Crunker. I do remember that.
That game was a blast.
Yeah, that was interesting. And then later down the road, we ended up doing. You came over and we did Dreams.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
On PS4.
Yeah.
That was a nightmare.
Yeah. That was a time.
It was interesting, but yeah. So you guys came out. You said in January, February with Golden Sky, and so you said Golden Sky was the name for your book.
It was originally.
Okay, and so you just decided to. Did you pitch that to everyone, or did you just tell them, "Hey, it's gonna be Golden Sky"?
I pitched it, and it kind of caught on.
Okay.
My roommates, they were pretty okay with it.
Yeah,
so we just kind of went with it, and another reason why I think it stuck really well, and I just hadn't realized it yet, was because think about it. We're technically, we're Western Kentucky.
Yeah.
But it could still be considered Southern Kentucky since we're still relatively close to the Tennessee border.
Right.
And Golden SKY, Golden Southern Kentucky.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, I actually originally I remember looking at that one point and wondering if it was Golden's KY.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I got you.
Kentucky.
Because
Okay.
I wasn't sure about like you were the Goldens or something.
Yeah.
Like that's how I viewed it. But like I was
like that.
I was like maybe it's either Golden's KY or it's Golden Sky, and I was like I think it's probably Golden for Golden Sky, but I'm like I could be wrong because I could have been wrong.
Yeah. One of the channel's first highlights, one of the Twitch channel's first highlights was actually with Purple Coin when we did Jackbox together. It was Fibbage.
Oh, yeah.
And it was me giving the absolute stupidest answer.
We played Jackbox together?
Yeah, we played Fibbage and
gosh.
streamed it over Discord. That's how you guys were able to play with us.
Yes. You don't remember this?
I don't remember this.
No, we didn't record or anything. We just played.
We just played?
We just hopped into
It was some Justin Bieber related question, and everybody clicked on my response, which, I can't remember what I typed in, but it was just something absurd.
Yeah, it's almost always one of two answers, and neither of which I feel comfortable giving out on
Yep.
our own podcast. So.
Yep. Didn't used to be that way, but then it turned into that.
It is
real
that.
fast.
It's that every single time you play.
It always becomes that, no matter what.
Yeah.
That was I clipped that and highlighted it, and that was one of our first channel highlights.
Yeah.
And it stayed there for basically forever until I kind of cleaned up our channel just a little bit. The second highlight that was all the way back from OG, like this was before the golden overlay. This was like the green and black one that we used that had both me and Jordan's old Twitter tags. And this was back right before it actually officially became Golden Sky Esports. I was still streaming under Pasta Unit 01. And the first, I think this was the first highlight that we got. It was Jordan pausing the game in the middle of a free for all, and the Find Me stage in Smash Ultimate where you get a me in the cage, and it's whatever me just wearing a wig and a tiara.
I know where this is going. I remember this one because I laughed my butt off at it.
I was completely unprepared and not paying any attention, and as soon as the match started, we all just went, and then Jordan goes, "No, wait!" Paused the game, and then he zoomed in on the cage. He said, "It's Steve Harvey!" And
I remember this one vividly.
He adjusted the frame. He took out the frame, took a screenshot so that it was saved on my Switch, and we were in tears over that moment.
Yeah.
That was OG Golden Sky before it was Golden Sky.
Right? Yeah, no, I do remember that moment. That's funny.
When did you change that?
I think it was like just a few streams later.
Okay.
That we decided, if we're all collectively going to be using it, then it might as well just not be under my tag anymore.
Yeah.
So how that was actually my next question. So the way that worked, Zelda Pro, Timothy still has access to the Purple Coin account. We haven't completely kicked him off of it yet, but I was wondering, do you just share the access with everybody, and everybody accesses from their own computer? Okay, that's interesting. Because honestly, for a little bit, I was like, did they just take turns using it's my turn on the laptop?
They meet up every so often to exchange the laptop. They're like, all right, here you go.
Like a whole PC
I get it back on Monday. Yeah, just bring the whole PC.
Or no, I was legitimately thinking so they either, I didn't know their situation. I was like, because I knew that at least two of them were roommates, because you were saying you were roommates with Hannibal. And I was like, Jack walks in and is like, Hannibal, it's my turn on the PC. And he's like, all right, come stream. And so he streams, and when he's done with his, Hannibal comes back and he sits down, and then he does his stream.
Yeah, that's...
And then,
that's a lot funnier.
And then, Doc comes over, Genie, whatever, comes over, and it's like, hey guys, I'm here, my turn to stream. I could see Genie doing that, to be honest, though.
Doc.
Doc. It's hard to get used to it, but it's him knocking on the door.
Back when he wore the Gengar hat.
Yes. I do remember that a lot.
You guys should just mind your business. He should. Hey guys, I'm here to stream.
No, I don't think he would do that. I think he would just kind of show up and be like, and I'd be like, hey. He'd look at me and go,
you know what? Definitely, I could see that response. The interactions I've had with him at Best Buy, but 2 interactions, that's definitely, I get that vibe.
Yeah, that's one reason why I knew I wanted to keep streaming with these guys, is because all of us, it's basically just one mentally ill group. That's what it was.
You guys just share a brain cell.
It's one covalent brain cell, and 2 of us are autistic. One of us is bipolar, and I, being the last, rampant ADHD.
Yeah.
And just
I see that.
See, it just works out.
It's obviously chaotic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's never a dull moment. It's always funny anytime we're hanging out with each other. But like, usually people would be like, that sounds like a disaster waiting to happen.
No,
and
it's great.
Yeah, it's. I'm not saying that there haven't been
also
rocky
sounds like
moments.
comedic genius, though. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't get funnier than a group of mentally ill people.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Can we say that?
It's too late.
I mean, it's.
Hey, I'm probably mentally ill. I mean, I don't know. I've never been diagnosed.
Yeah, I got
Or I'm sorry.
Thanks. I've never been diagnosed, but everybody around me is like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if like you can't really see it on this. I'm gonna steal Jack's camera real quick.
There you go.
I'm just gonna kind of show off the wall of obsessive nerding that I have done since I've been like this started when I was like 12, and that's like most of my collection now, and I still do it. So, yeah.
It's the good stuff.
It's the collection in my brain. Is like,
So-
I gotta do that.
Let me hear about the hardships.
About the hardships?
Yeah.
Well, there's some that have happened that we're like, okay, we're moving on, we're past this. There are others that I think it's safe for me to comment on because it's been enough time.
Yeah.
Hardship.
You stumped
Yeah,
me.
No, fair.
I think one of the main things would just be our struggle with decent internet connection.
Yeah.
Because that's probably something that has, we are only within range of spectrum, and we are, we're within range of spectrum, but we're not within range of upgraded spectrum.
Ooh. Yeah.
And then we're also out of range of AT&T, and we're also out of range of, we're nowhere near.
You could be like me and be completely out of range.
Yeah.
We don't have Wi-Fi here.
Yeah.
Everything I do is on a mobile hotspot.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And like because of that, first of all, I could honestly, I never gave you this, but I have to give you like huge shout. You and your whole team, huge shout outs for being streamers because I cannot do it. I don't know what it is about streaming. I could never be a streamer.
Well,
I like streaming.
We gotta give shout outs in return. Like I could speak collectively for all of us when I say that we handle the Twitch side of things.
Mm-hmm.
We barely ever upload to YouTube.
Right.
You handle the YouTube like just with flying colors, and that's something I can never even hope to have any kind of grasp.
It's a lot.
It is
both ways.
It is definitely like so. Like I get it, like the technical aspects of like editing and all that kind of stuff that drives me nuts. But like your layouts and stuff, I can't figure that out. Like when you have like an OBS and stuff. Like I've tried to learn and I've gotten somewhere, but it doesn't look anything like your guys' does.
Yeah,
but not only that, it's the personality. Something about like you just have to have that personality to be a streamer. I think
it's true.
Because when we stream, like I've enjoyed, like I can't say that I haven't enjoyed any of the streams that I've done or been on. But definitely like an hour or sometimes 2 hours in, I'm out. My brain is fried. I'm tired of talking.
That is totally fair.
Logan's just weak.
I don't want to interact with the chat anymore, and like I'm just like I don't want to do this. It feels like it's such a commitment while you're streaming because you're in front. As long as you're in front of that camera or in front of that microphone, you have to be in character or whatever. With YouTube and stuff, we take breaks all the time. Like we'll just walk off and use the bathroom, grab a drink, sit back down.
We hit the stop recording button and then we sit there.
We don't even hit stop recording sometimes. We're just still recording. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go do something, and you're just like for like Purple Coin Plus, hey, I'm gonna go do something, and you just take a break. You take a phone call, you take a text real quick, tweet,
bathroom break,
whatever.
Yeah, and like, you just edit it out.
Like you can do that on like Twitch. Like I know like streamers like they take breaks just for a second, but it's like when you come back, you have to be in character, but like it feels so much. I don't know. It feels like there's so much less pressure on YouTube. On my side because like I can record video and then we just take a break in between the video, and if we need to get more content done, it's like okay, well I'll do it when I feel like it. Yeah. Because like again in front of that camera, I don't know. I just don't have.
Yeah, no. It's full disclosure. It definitely takes an endurance buildup.
Yeah.
Because. Like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being enthusiastic about wanting to start streaming, and that's that's something that I would absolutely encourage as many people as possible to do, because it can be, it can yield some of the funniest, most amazing, most emotional moments.
Mm-hmm. That's true too.
Yeah. When me and Timothy were streaming, that was some of the best YouTube stuff I had ever been a part of.
Yeah.
It was so much fun interacting with the chat, just interacting with Timothy. There
was an Undertale stream in particular that I remember that was really good, and then a Sonic Forces one, and Mario Maker. There was three of those are some of the best streams I can think of. But I also just remember the last Super Mario Odyssey stream we did together when I was still living at the apartment. I was burnt out so fast in that stream, and I just remember I went silent. I think it was a blindfolded challenge. And Timothy was blindfolded, and you and I were giving him directions, and you took over, and I just let you do it. I was like, I don't want to.
No, that was at the apartment.
That's what I said. It was still.
Yeah. No, you definitely just tapped out.
I was just I can't,
all right, guys. I can't do this.
My brain shut off, and I could not participate in the stream anymore because I just, like I said, I don't know. I can't stick with the commitment of being in front of that microphone, in front of that camera that whole time. Because at one point, if I don't want to do it anymore, my brain is just stop. It's don't do it anymore, and so then I can't.
Which is also fair. That's the opposite end of the spectrum. Is if you're burnt out, don't force yourself to keep going with streaming. That's
were you guys ever burnt out? Did you have those periods where you were just no, we can't do this?
It was we kind of hit phases. I'm kind of in the middle of a dip myself, just in terms of my own personal streams.
Yeah.
At the very least, we've kept the weekly tournaments going for as many weeks as possible in a row. But it's for right now. It's mainly Call Me Doc and a little bit of Sean the Don holding down personal streams.
Yeah.
From their end.
Yeah, I noticed Doc's doing a lot of the streams.
Because I've just. It took me a while to convince myself of this, but just word of advice. If you genuinely don't know what to do, that is okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you genuinely are not in the mood to stream, but you feel like you have to, take a break anyway.
Take a break.
Get yourself some rest.
We had to do that for YouTube at one point last year.
Such a big thing.
Yeah.
It's not a take a break forever type thing. Yeah. It's just however long you need to regroup.
Come back and do it better. Because that's exactly what happened with the Purple Coin. We took a break, I was going through a lot of personal stuff, shortly after we started the channel, and I was I just can't keep up with the channel, with my personal life, with everything.
Yeah.
And I was let's take a break. And we came back, we got ahead on making everything. We were more energetic about doing it. We were more enthusiastic. It felt so much better to be back doing that after that break. But it's also after we went down from 5 days a week to 3 days a week.
Know your limits is also
we were uploading Monday through Friday because we were we're going to beat the algorithm. We're going to make it promote us. And when we noticed that it was barely making a difference, we're actually doing better now on Friday.
Yeah.
We've gotten a new subscriber every, almost more than every week. At least more than one every week for the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're finally, building up steam almost a year in, but we're actually making progress now, and it feels really good.
Yeah.
How did it feel when you got that first subscriber? Do you remember that feeling?
First sub, it was a rush.
Yeah.
I think it may or may not have been during one of our Nuzlocks, one of our original Nuzlocke streams.
Yeah.
And I was just, I was to the moon.
Yeah.
I just had this big goofy grin on my face.
Do you remember who the first subscriber was, and if they're still subscribed?
Oh my god. Shoot.
I didn't want to ask him because I knew he didn't.
No, I don't know either.
I see it.
To be honest, I don't remember any of my first subscribers.
I'm off my game. I ain't got no excuses.
No, that's okay. I remember a few of the earlier subscribers, at least for people that were more active in chat, back on the streams when we used to do, and we've kept a few of those around in our Discord.
Oh, I remember when me and Timothy were streaming. I remember the people who subscribed.
Yeah.
I mean, they were in the chat. They were the ones who were chatting most of the time, but I remember them being there and everything, and most of them are in the Discord.
Shout outs to you guys that are in our Discord.
Yeah,
if you're not in the Discord, there's a link below on YouTube. If you're on Spotify, go to our YouTube page.
Yep.
There's a Discord link.
Yep.
I'm there too. Can vouch.
He's in it. He's in it. You can talk to him. Then you can join his.
I'm a cool dude myself.
He is.
The Discord's full of cool dudes.
It is.
Yeah.
I hate to rush us. We were running a little out of time.
Okay.
Apparently, I
had so many more questions.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's
we
totally
have about 5 more minutes. If there's any other things you guys want to go over, there's actually like 10, but I don't want to push this thing to its limits because it looks like it's burning out. So
yeah, just anything really that you want to talk about real quick for it.
I mean, like earlier. I guess I wanted to add that. Well, I never really envisioned starting out as a streamer who was, like just a couple of years ago, I was doing the Ruby Nuzlocke.
Yeah.
And I remember having a moment where I laughed really hard on, it was towards the beginning of the game. I was like, I think it was Mr. Briney having a crush on me, and it was just very awkward laughter.
Mm-hmm.
And then fast forward to last week when I did the 1 loss equals 1 trash beat.
I was just
stream.
about to bring this up before we wrapped. It was like,
Dude.
You got to show off one of your trash beats.
Yeah.
Before you go, you got to play one of the trash beats.
All right.
Pick your favorite. Or the worst.
So, I guess I'll just play the first one.
Because the first one.
The first one was really bad.
Okay, before you play it, describe what a trash beat stream is.
Describe what a trash beat stream is. It's very simple. Any game that I play, if I lose whatever match I'm involved with, it could be Overwatch, and I would lose with my team. It could be Siege, and that same thing. It could be Pokemon. I'll lose ranked against somebody online.
Mm-hmm.
I back out. I switch camera views so that it shows me pulling out my laptop, and I have a 5-minute timer set. I start the timer. I then have those 5 minutes to go on GarageBand and create a trash beat. And at the end of the timer, I have to export it, and then I'll send it to myself, and I'll switch to the other camera view, back to my face just to get the reaction of it, and then I'll play it for stream.
He was going hard on one of the streams. On one of the beats he showed me the other day.
Yeah.
You probably set it like right around there for the microphone. You'll pick it up just fine without hopefully damaging it too bad. I know. Well, I watched Timothy play a song from on his stream the other day.
Yeah.
He pretty close to the microphone. It sounded good. So
just a brief bit of context. This was the game that I threw. It was.
Gosh.
Yeah. Because I know. Mr. Supreme King was absolutely losing his mind, and for good reason, because he kept telling me, Dynamax. Why have you not Dynamaxed?
Hold on, I want to give some context to this.
That's okay.
So Jack was in a match. He set up
baton pass
into Gyarados. He had speed boost. He had sword dance. That Gyarados was ready to kill. He kills something. It works out. Kills another. It works out. Guy sends out his last Pokemon. I'm like, Jack, you need a Dynamax to make sure that when he Dynamaxes, it kills. And Jack is like, no, I got this. This thing's boosted up like crazy. And I'm like, Jack, you need to Dynamax. And he doesn't. He hits it. The guy Dynamaxes. Jack hits the guy. It lives. And I'm like, Jack, you're through the game. And this guy one-shots the Garrett. And I'm just like, no!
It wasn't, it was pretty close to that, but it was, he actually stalled out my Gyarados because of Sandstream. He stalled out my Gyarados, and so then the only attacker that I had left was my screen setup.
That's right.
Grimmsnarl, and I could not paralyze a ground type, so then he used Slack Off, and I was
Hippowdon, right?
Yep, it was Hippowdon, and he used Slack Off, and I was like, there it is. That's GG's.
There was also a game where he forgot to baton pass.
Yep, and I still won it, but I didn't deserve the win.
He did not deserve the win.
It happens.
But this was the trash beat that resulted from me throwing that game.
All right.
And
let's hear it.
Yeah, Supreme King was like, "This is a beat. I guess
this is a beat."
I'm an absolute unit.
Oh.
It was.
The dissonance. It hurts.
Yeah, no. Oh my god. That like squeak, that like really high squeak, the beep in the middle of it, that was me playing the highest note that would allow on a trumpet.
Like
the mini trumpet.
Yeah.
And I created those trash beats by just getting these wonky sounding beats, and then I would go to sound effects because GarageBand has an entire library full of sound effects, like a woman pronouncing numbers in Spanish or Arabic.
What?
I think there was like a.
I have no experience with GarageBand, so I'm like, this is interesting.
That sound effect, the weird throat noise, that was a lion cub growling. There was another trash beat where I put in somebody doing wah, 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 wah on the kazoo next to monkeys screeching, and
there was a lot going on in those trash beats.
There was quite a bit of stuff going on.
Some would even say too much.
Someone even say too much.
And that's why they're trash beats.
Yep.
Yeah.
People like tried to tell me, like, after I showed them the trash beats, they were like, "Why is this kind of fire though?" I'm like,
"No,
there was one you showed me.
There was one. There was
some
that was pretty good.
That's actually pretty decent. Yeah.
It's like, that's not the point.
That's not the point. Yeah.
But I mean, if it works, it works. I guess. I just thought that was really funny.
Yeah. Anyway, that's going to be the end of the podcast. Before we wrap up, totally, dude, it was so cool to have you on.
Yeah, it was a blast.
This is our first guest on the podcast ever.
Yeah,
actually.
Happy to be the first guest.
Right?
Well, he used to be part of the podcast. If he comes back, he'd be a guest. But but now this is like our first legitimate actual. Oh, I think Rudes was on it at one point, but I almost don't because it was all.
Know.
Anyway,
right. Anyway,
we rebooted the podcast.
That's true.
Yeah,
and there's only been one other video.
Yeah,
number one of the reboot.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much for watching. Links to Jack's stuff will be in the description. Go check them out.
Well, we can't link to Twitch on YouTube, can we? We can at least link to the YouTube page.
YouTube channel, Twitter, YouTube.
No, it's I think you can do
I think
that.
you can do
I
Twitch.
think
You just can't stream multiple platforms at the same time.
Right. Yeah.
Like that's specifically for Twitch affiliate status. So I think it should be safe.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
So yeah, we'll leave links.
I was
to
like,
that
at
stuff.
least we'll put some Golden Sky stuff in the description at least.
Go
Again,
check it
on
out.
YouTube. You don't have access to that on Apple or Spotify.
If you're on another thing besides YouTube, go over to our YouTube. Check this man out. He does good stuff.
YouTube.com/ it's at PurpleCoinENT.
Yeah.
There we go.
I finally fixed our URL, so you can just do that.
There we go.
So
there we go.
Purple Coin Entertainment at PurpleCoinENT. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on TikToks. We're doing TikToks every single Monday, and those shorts will be coming out on the Purple Coin channels eventually as well. Thank you guys so much for listening and for watching. Thanks again to Jack for being here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Just we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.
See ya.